Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. In this very special occasion, I'd like to present our research result. First of all, allow me to introduce our research team. My name is Arya Samudra Mahardika. In this research, I act as a third researcher. Along with me is Mr. Muhammad Riyadus Solihin, act as a lead researcher, and Mrs. Susi Astuti as a second researcher. We entitle our research Tax Payment Intention using Theory of Planned Behavior Introduction. Okay. Our motives to conduct this research is based on the economic development of a country that can be marked by the number of economic activities that contribute to supporting state income. The establishment of a hotel and restaurant in a certain area, especially in Indonesia, is a part of economic activity aimed at increasing the contribution and effort to increase the economy in that region. One of the most important contributions of the hotel and restaurant business activities is the tax contribution from hotel and restaurant owners to the state through the region and the central government. Although socialization activities for hotel and restaurant business owners in Kabupaten Regency have often been carried out, business owners have different responses, which are positive and negative response to the tax payment obligation. So we conduct this research using the theory of planned behavior approach to explain tax payment intention to pay their tax. And we add the antecedent variable tax sanction as an additional variable. Okay, next is literature review. Okay, as we all know that theory of planned behavior consists of three dimensions, which are attitude toward behavior, subjective norms, and the last one is perceived behavior control. Use these three variables as the antecedent for the tax payment intention. So the first, the second, and the third hypothesis on our research. The first hypothesis is attitude toward behavior has a positive effect on tax payment intention. The second hypothesis is subjective norms has a positive effect on tax payment intention. And the third hypothesis is perceived behavior control has a positive effect on the tax payment intention. Lastly, is a variable that we incorporate in this model, which is tax sanction. Based on theory of reason action, individuals who perform a behavior cannot be separated from the impact that will be received after the behavior is carried out. The positive or negative consequences that will be obtained by the individual. It can be said that the existence of applicable tax sanction will affect the tax payment's intention to commit tax compliance. By behaving in tax compliance, then the taxpayers will get a positive impact, namely not being subject to sanction their kids. So that sanctions are one of the reasons why someone or individual pays against its tax obligation. So the last hypothesis in our research is taxation has a positive effect on tax payment intention. We have for hypothesis. Next is methods. Population and sample list. The population of this research is taxpayers in Kebumen. Specifically, hotel and restaurant business owners. The sampling technique used in this study was purpose sampling, with the criteria of hotels and restaurants that have been in legal status for 5 years. Total of 45 samples were used in this study. Data analysis using WARP LS version 7.0. Okay, the next is the result. First, convergent validity. As you can see, the loading factor from each variable is above 0.7, except for the SN3 0.4, SA1 which is 0.6, and EN 1, 2, and 3. But because of the AFE of each variable is above 0.5, so we keep this indicator because the AFE is above 0.5, according to Solihin and Ratmono 2013. Next one is discriminant validity. As you can see, the diagonal number ATB attitude, SN, which is subjective norms, perceived behavior control, then this is sanction and intention, show that this number is greater among number in the row. Lastly is internal consistency reliability. Research has passed this test because the composite reliability is above 7, and so the Cronbach alpha. Summary of hypothesis using WARP LS version 7.0. As you can see that all hypotheses are supported, which can be seen in p-values below 0.0, and the PET coefficient shows that this hypothesis has a positive effect. You can see that the number of PET coefficient shows the positive nominal. So the result in hypothesis 1, 2, 3, and 4 are supported. This shows that theory of planned behavior can be used to explain tax payment intention and regency. This result also showed that tax sanction has a positive effect to tax payment intention. Based on the result of hypothesis testing in this study, it can be concluded that theory of planned behavior approach can empirically be applied in explaining the behavior of hotel and restaurant tax payment in paying taxes. The study also found that taxpayers' perception of the existence of sanctions affect their intention to pay taxes. Okay, I think that is all of our result of our research. If there is mistake in my presentation, I apologize to all. Thank you very much.